So, reading a little bit into this book titled Native Roots, they talked about how kidnapping is a standard practice for the explorers throughout the early thousands, maybe 1400s or so. There was different styles of kidnapping between the noticed between the French and the Spanish. The French would kidnap a few Indians and bring them back to their home country to teach them their language so that they'd have a bilingual um, kid. And the Spanish would kidnap as needed on the site. So there was a different style of kidnapping. Um, Also, the French practiced bringing over like a French boy and having them stay and live with the Indians and learn their language and stuff. So you'd have kind of a reverse integration. It was kind of a forced, what do they call those programs where the international students will stay with a host family or something. It's kind of like that. But I mean, they're saying in this book that it's forced. It was a kidnapping, so um, yeah, that's how they work. There was no negotiation, no papers to sign. They just grabbed and started working with them, and it seemed to be somewhat effective for helping the French and Spanish navigate the lands and get familiar with the Americas a little bit better. It also helped with bringing the cultures together in different ways, bridging that gap between the languages and helping them with trading. There's a lot of like just exchanges and stuff that aided each other in their own ways. There's an interesting story about how one of the groups of French people were suffering from scurvy, and people are actually dying from that. But they had an interpreter, an Indian interpreter, who talked to one of the tribe ladies, and they pointed out that some evergreen trees help with scurvy, so that's was consumed and improved the scurvy conditions. So that's something interesting. I believe I've chewed on the white pine myself, and it's really got that acid, that vitamin C, ascorbic acid type of taste in the leaves, the needles. They're not the best tasting. You could probably soak them in water and make a tea out of that. And apparently, the needles that are even brown and on the ground are good too. But yeah, kidnapping. I mean, we look at slavery with the Africans as being the wrong thing to do. That was a different purpose altogether. I mean, the early explorers were kidnapping for navigation purposes and trading. Later, though, the Africans were kidnapped and for slavery, pretty much. But in a way, it helped build uh, uh, cultures to different races together, different species, human species. Because then you have the relationships there that are forced in a way, and when people want to negotiate, if they have a or certain human species on their side that is similar to the group or the species they want to trade with, they have something that they're sharing with that other group. There's like a common sense of culture with the particular species. And so, I mean, some explorers would marry with the Indians, and that have offspring that are half European and half Native American.